Hello guys, it's me Lunar, welcome back to another PUBG update video. Today we finally have the new PTS update, including Vikendi, graphic changes, weapons, and a lot more, so this is going to be a very long video. I'm going over the patch notes. Also guys, I have a cold, so I might sound different. If the video is useful though, a like is very much appreciated. So for you new PS4 players, the PTS is a separate download than the main game, so make sure to install it. The update will be around 20 gigabytes because you also have to reinstall the game every update, along with the changes. For release times, the PTS is now available on both Xbox and PS4 right now, and in terms of availability, the North American and EU servers is all that's available, in third-person perspective solo and squads. The new map Vikendi will be the only map available to play. So let's take a look at the patch notes starting with the new map. Vikendi is a 6x6 kilometer map, which is somewhere in the middle of Sanhok and the other two maps. The gameplay of Vikendi is quicker than Erangel and Miramar, but offers an arguably more tactical experience than Sanhok. Players can throw snowballs while waiting to board the plane in the starting area. Vehicles will have less traction on snow or icy areas, and acceleration on icy terrain is slow, and you will also lose more general vehicle control as you speed up. Footprints and vehicle tracks will appear as players travel in the snow-covered areas, so you have to keep an eye out that people are not following your footprints. However, they don't stay around forever, although you could use these footprints to your advantage and lead people into traps. The red zone, the center of the red zone spawns outside of the play zone, and the smaller the play zone, the smaller the red zone. The first blue circle of every game is much smaller than other maps, but the subsequent circle sizes change less drastically. This facilitates more blue zone variety and unique experiences. Similar strategies work on Vikendi to Erangel and Miramar for the first three phases, but the zones will close slower starting from phase 4, similar to Sanhok, and this leads to a better balance between strategy and gunplay throughout the duration of each match. What about item spawn balances then? The overall item spawn rate is at a midpoint between the maps, offering a unique balance between the spawn rates of Erangel and Sanhok. Level 3 helmets spawn in the world, level 3 vests spawn more often than other maps, smoke grenades are spawned at a higher rate compared to other throwables, so the map is a little different to the others. New weapons have been added into the game. The G36C spawns only in Vikendi. It uses 5.56mm ammo, it can load 30 bullets, 40 with an extended mag, and it has lower and upper rails for attachments, but cannot attach a stock. We also have the new handgun, the Scorpion. This one will spawn on all maps, single fire and full auto mode. It uses 9mm ammo and can load up to 20 bullets, 40 with the extended mag. And for attachments, you can get the red dot sight, suppressor, vertical, half and light grips, plus the laser sight, extended magazine only, and if it has a stock, it can only use the stock for the micro Uzi. The Scorpion is also available in the training mode as well. Next, a new vehicle, the Snowmobile, and this only spawns on Vikendi of course. It seats 2 players and performs much better than other vehicles in the snow and ice, but it's more difficult to drive on other terrains. So guys, Vikendi is finally released and you can play that right now on the PTS. I really want to know what you guys think of it in the comments below. How does it compare to other maps? And is it going to be something that you're going to play a lot, especially since we've been waiting for it for such a long time? So let me know. But we have more stuff to cover in the patch notes then that are not for the new map, starting with quality of life changes. The minimap has changed, players can now further magnify the minimap. Player order consistency, so player orders between the lobby and in-game is now consistent so that players will have fixed numbers and colors based in lobby order when they enter a game. Added a field of view slider in first person perspective mode, and I can't wait to test that out to see how it changes first person. Looking at comparisons on PC before, there was a big improvement. Added graphical settings options for the Xbox One X, which I will go over in a second, and the controller guide can now be seen from the lobby from settings. So let's take a look at those graphical setting options. Now, for this initial round of testing, the graphical options will be for the Xbox One X only. They're actively developing these options and are aiming to have them ready for all Xbox consoles, as well as the PS4, which also doesn't have them yet, but these are the types of settings that we will be getting. Framerate priority sets the resolution to 2560 by 1440 and enables VSync. This setting is recommended for a more consistent framerate. Resolution priority sets the resolution to 3840 by 2160 and enables VSync. This setting was recommended for better visuals. The third option, which isn't actually out yet, is dynamic resolution, and it will change the resolution in real time. And this is the best setting to ensure an optimal balance between framerate and visual fidelity, but further details are being finalized and tested internally, and we will find out more about that. So now for Xbox One X, I have the Xbox One X. On the PTS, I could change to have better frame rates or better visuals. Although I haven't really had much time to test it, so I can't tell whether the setting the better visuals will actually make my frame rate too bad to play, but we'll find out once I've had time. Let's move on then to gameplay changes. Decrease the recoil for the P18C, so if you're using that pistol, that it will be much easier now. To be honest, I never really had much difficulty using that in game. Improve the sound settings and options. The sound settings are now separate into master volume, FX volume, user interface volume, and music volume. That's a really cool change, because there's definitely some things that you want to decrease the sound, but others that you don't. Maximum number of forward running sensitivity has changed from 50 to 100. The maximum value would stay the same, so if your forward running sensitivity was 10, it would change to 20. This is just so players can have a more specific value. Finally, added an auto reload option. This is a really cool one. When enabled, you will reload weapons automatically when you try to fire while your magazine is empty. By default, this is set off, but can be changed in the gameplay menu to on, and I'm definitely going to put that on. When I fire a game, I usually reload as much as possible. I spam the reload button, but there is some times where you might forget, and just having this on will make sure that you always have your gun reloaded. Next then, performance. Improve the client performance by optimizing the creation of character materials. Improve performance by mitigating an issue causing thin objects to flicker. Optimized particles in rainy weather. Adjusted the parachute and character sync rate depending on the distance to improve server performance. Optimized weapon target calculations overhead. Optimized the culling logic of invisible instance mesh. Optimized overall character movement cost. And reduced level streaming hitches and physics creation hitches. Finally, before we go on to bug fixes, they added more options for reporting players. Added the report player function to event mode games. Press the Y to report the killer. When reporting someone who had team killed you, there will be an option for reporting team kills, and you cannot report the same player more than once in game. That just leaves us in with a whole bunch of bug fixes. Fixed issues where players could sometimes climb stairs much faster while moving diagonally next to a wall, where a downed player character model would sometimes penetrate walls, where characters would look like they were sliding while standing up if they took out a weapon and stood up at the same time. An issue where seeing headless characters when using healing items in first-person perspective mode in prone position or when entering a vehicle. Where a player appeared to slide when standing up or moving while prone before landing from a certain height. Where some animations were cancelled when moving with certain steps. Where sometimes an enemy player was seen shooting with a weapon at the back of the character. Where you can sometimes see through walls and rock surfaces while riding a motorcycle. Where your camera sometimes go through the vehicle when the vehicle is leaning on an object, where ads worked unreliably when adsing right after equipping a weapon, where a player sometimes received a collision damage from a motorcycle when another player picked up the motorcycle, where a character would sometimes rotate even though their feet are fixed when the screen is rotating more than 180 degrees left or right, where players' motion was sometimes shown as scoping when taking steps next to a wall, where characters could vault over other characters when positioned at certain heights, where a player would sometimes clip through the floor of a building when disembarking a motorcycle, where a character's animation would pop upward when getting close to the wheels of a buggy, where a character's animation would pop upwards when crouching and standing up near a vehicle, where players could see his or her teammates' characters in lobby after a match intermittently, where players could loot some items such as weapons or ammo on the ground, fixed an issue causing a character to be headless when wearing certain skins, issues where players could shoot in an abnormal direction in free look, where in first-person perspective when characters holding throwables or ready to throw throwables is facing up to the sky and his or her hand flickers and moves around, where players could get into a certain terrain of Miramar which should be impossible, where players could stand up from prone position faster than usual in certain conditions, where players could use weapons while swimming if they kept pushing the weapon equip button near rocks, an issue which caused the screen to shake excessively when spectating an opponent when firing, where when free falling out of a plane and pressing a particular movement key, certain animations didn't display correctly, where the footstep sounds of players moving at low speed was not played to other players, where the character's footsteps couldn't be heard on a carpet, when you pressed the play button the game would freeze, where world map and wheel menu could be opened at the same time, where a spot at the back of a truck and buggy would block bullets, where when a plane flew around the sound of the plane was not played, where teammates would receive friendly fire damage even if you weren't aiming at them while shooting. When the character passed through the barbed wire, it penetrates the character's body or caused unexpected termination. Fixed an issue with hair when wearing certain beanies. An issue where sometimes the effect sounds of the adrenaline syringe is continuously played after cancelling. Where vehicle horns continue to sound after exiting a vehicle while holding RT. where the team list does not correspond when observing your teammate and changing camera using LB, RB, R1 or L1. Fixed an issue where the casting gauge for health boosting items and reviving was not shown while observing. When picking up a throwable while holding the same throwable, the holding amount did not update. Fixed an issue with the bolt action of the observee was showing incorrectly while observing. Where the quick marker was unable to remove while observing. Where the animation for equipping and unequipping the weapon was shown incorrectly after the observee stands up from being prone while observing. Where the motorcycle was not mountable on certain angles. Where the sound of an emote played just before the round begins in the in-game lobby continued to play after riding the plane. Finally, where the camera passed through the door on certain angles when adzing close to the door while holding a handgun. So yeah guys, loads of bug fixes. But a huge update. I can't really wait to test out the map and the new features and a lot more detail as well. Hopefully this will be a turning point for development on the console version. As we know, it's been really rocky for months now, and so many players, including myself, have been playing other games for the last few months, like Red Dead and Blackout, just until PUBG starts to produce updates again. And I really hope that the game starts to develop a lot more, especially now that the PS4 version is out. Anyway, subscribe if you want to see more PUBG news and update videos as soon as we get them. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.